So I broke down the main fights I wanted to talk about for UFC 296. Now I'm just going to break down the card in general. So the first fight of the night was Shamil Gaziev versus Martin Buday, and this was a really good, smart performance from Shamil Gaziev. Honestly, his boxing's very sharp. Like generally, he's got very sharp boxing, especially when you look at the guy. Like he's a big fat guy. He's trimmed down a little bit though. Normally he's a lot fatter, so all respect to the guy who'd kick my ass. He's fucking massive, but he is fat. And he was a lot fatter, and now he's lost some weight, and his cardio didn't look as bad as it did on his Dana White Contender Series fight. He won in a round, and he was fucking dying. He was so gassed. So to see him come in here, go past the first round where he landed a lot of shots, all powerful shots, and he goes in there and gets it done. He beat the shit out of Martin Buday, and Martin Buday is a guy who goes in there and beats a lot of these fat heavyweights. He's got a lot of good wins. Well, maybe not good wins. Well, I mean, Chris Barnett, fucking GOAT, but he's a guy on a big win streak, and for Shamil Gaziev to come beat him in his UFC debut, they're going to rush him. They're going to give him to like somebody crazy good in his next fight, and that's all right with me. That is all right. He is very good. He was my dark horse for a reason on the heavyweight division. Not that I think Shamil Gaziev's going to go in there and be UFC champion or anything, but at the very least he'll be ranked. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if they rank him here. Martin Buday was ranked at one point, so to go in there and beat Martin Buday is very impressive. But I don't know. We'll see what they do next for them, but yeah, good performance here. Showed off his hands. Showed off some good takedown defense. Martin Buday didn't throw a single punch though, which was weird to see. I think maybe the pressure just got to him. I mean, like the actual pressure from Shamil Gaziev, but still, good performance from Shamil Gaziev, and he gets it done. Then moving on, we had the next fight, which was in the featherweight division between Andre Touchy-Feely, one of the most goated nicknames of all time, by the way, and Lucas Almeida. Honestly, solid performance here from Andre Feely. I've highly overrated Lucas Almeida, I feel like. I've picked him in every fight in his UFC career. I'm pretty sure I picked him in all of his fights. I picked him against Trezano. Did he have another fight after that? Was that the Pat Sabatini fight? I can't actually remember. If that was the Pat Sabatini fight, then I've picked him in all of his fights. I'm pretty sure he's 1 and 2 in the UFC. Sorry, this is like very unprofessional of me. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he is. Because his one loss was on the Dana White Contender Series against Daniel Zalhuba. But anyway, I've picked him a lot. He's a brawler and everything, but, his ground game was his big threat. Getting taken down was always what got him. But in this fight, he straight just got KO'd. So, yeah, he's not all that. I didn't think he was a championship level fighter or anything, but he's normally a very fun fighter. This was a fun fight, but Andre Feely just brutally KOs him. How good is Joe Anderson Brito? Because he fucking went in there and dusted up Feely in the first round. He is one of the most underrated guys, Joe Anderson Brito. He's got so many underrated wins, but still, just to get on to Andre Feely, he looked really good here, just KOs him, fucking sounded like an absolute hammer that he landed as well. That sounded like a big, powerful shot. Only 33 years old, he's been in the UFC for what feels like forever. He's fought Max Holloway, Jeremy Stevens, I'm pretty sure. He's fought a bunch of them other, them featherweight guys. I'm pretty sure he fought Yair Rodriguez. He's fought everybody, and he's still, making improvements. So who knows? Maybe we're going to see Philly make his Charles Oliveira type run. I doubt it, but you never know. He's looking good. Actually, he lost to Nathaniel Wood before this. I just remembered. Never mind. But still, he looked good here. Good win. Then moving on up, we had the Durden Master, Cody Durden, versus Tagir Ulanbekov. So Cody Durden almost chadds his way to victory here, almost, but unfortunately doesn't. There was a few moments where he was caught in chokes and he just fucking chatted his way out like, Cody Durden, don't tap. You're going to have to, I black out before I tap out, bitch. Like that was the sort of energy Cody Durden was giving here, but unfortunately it didn't work because, oh yeah, I gotta mention, Chris Taoni is the most useless fucking referee in the UFC. He is so ineffective. He seems like a really nice guy, but as a referee, he is so ineffective. He warned Tagir Ulanbekov, who doesn't speak English by the way, about 5 times for putting his fucking toes in the cage. he didn't. At some points, he just let him keep doing it. He didn't go and tap him. He just kept telling him to stop and then didn't do anything. He stopped him and warned him about 5 times. When you have to warn somebody that many times, you fucking take the position away or take a fucking point. That really did piss me off. That generally made me mad. Like, come on, you've warned the guy 5 times. English, he doesn't even speak English, so you gotta stop him. You gotta tell his translators fucking stop doing it. But obviously, it worked to his advantage. He learned well from Tim Elliott cheating because he went off about Tim Elliott cheating to beat him, and then now he goes and cheats against Cody Durden and gets the victory. Absolute bullshit, but I mean, it worked for him. He got the win here. Fucking horrible way to do it, but it works. And if it works, you can't really hate on the guy, can you? He did what he had to do and he won. But still, coward's way to do it, in my opinion. But, it is what it is. I mean, not a coward's way. I mean, he won fair and square. Well, not fair and square, but he won. You can't really say he's a coward, but still. Casey O'Neill got dusted up by Ariana Lipski, which was unfortunate to see. That hype train's definitely a bit dead now. Ariana Lipski did look really good, though. That's what I am going to say. She really did just go in there and run through Casey O'Neill, beat her up on the feet, dropped her, subbed her, really was just a bad beating. I don't know what Casey O'Neill did to her, but she must have really pissed her off because Ariana Lipski was fighting her like she owed her money or something. She fucking came for blood. But yeah, she gets the sub and she gets the win. Really good performance here by Ariana Lipski, the fucking queen of violence, as they call her. Then we had Cody Garbrandt versus Brian Kelleher. Spoke briefly about this one. Cody Garbrandt was offended by Brian Kelleher's ugly haircut, so he had to go in there. He had to absolutely smoke him. But he put on a really good performance. Brian Kelleher was getting to him a little bit with those leg kicks. He was really kicking his leg up, but Brian Kelleher, not got the greatest chin, is older, coming off really bad surgery as well. Eventually just gets caught with some bombs from Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt, not in his prime anymore, but still is as powerful and as quick. Obviously a bit washed, but he looked good. He looked good in this fight. Got to see him step up the competition. He wants Davison Figueiredo, but let's not do that. Respectfully, let's just not do that for him. I don't think that's a good fight for Cody Garbrandt. Maybe give him somebody outside the rankings or something. Maybe book him against the winner of Ricky Simone versus Mario Batista. That probably makes more sense. He was originally meant to fight Mario Batista, so, just have him fight the winner of that fight. I feel like that would make some sense. But yeah, still good performance. Cody Garbrandt gets it done. Then we had, the fucking fight of the night. Amazing fight here between Irene Aldana and Carl Rosa. This was a really good fight. The leg kicks from Carl Rosa were looking like they were going to get to Irene Aldana, but she just chatted her way to victory as a female, which was cool to see. She's allergic to checking them leg kicks, but she's not allergic to fucking throwing out them hands, and she threw them hands a lot. So that was really good to see from her. She was boxing her up. She's very one-dimensional, Irene Aldana. Especially on the feet, her striking's very one-dimensional. She doesn't really throw any kicks, no elbows. She's just very boxing heavy, but I don't care. It's fun to watch. She's got some really good boxing, especially for a woman's mixed martial artist. And the boxing was really just getting to her. She was boxing her up, landing big shots, going to the body, going up top, bruising and busting up Carl Rosa. There's a photo of them together. Both their faces absolutely fucking busted up. But honestly, fight of the night, one of the best female fights of the year. I can't think of a better fight off the top of my head. Maybe if I go and rewatch some fights, maybe I'd realize there's probably one I'm forgetting, but that was the best female fight this year in my opinion, off the top of my head. So great fight there. Then we had Josh Emmett. Oh no, we didn't. No, sorry. No, we didn't have that actually. We had Alonzo Menifield versus Dustin Jacoby. This was a really interesting fight. Dustin Jacoby was doing so good, but he was losing by a single punch in every round. Alonzo Menifield just landed a big bomb, and Dustin Jacoby was really dropping his hands a lot. That was one thing I was noticing. He kept constantly dropping his hands after every exchange, and I guess Alonzo Menifield noticed that, and he would just land big bombs on Dustin Jacoby, and he would win that way. He wasn't winning because he was the better fighter. No, it wasn't a better technical fighter. It wasn't winning more moments in the fight. He was just winning because he was more powerful. And I'm not going to shit on him for it. It works. It's a good. I mean, it's a good method because it helped him win this fight. But like Dustin Jacoby was teeing off on him, beating him up this whole fight, and then he would just get caught with his hands down and get fucking rocked. Like it was really funny to see. Uh, but yeah, Alonzo Menifield clearly beats him. Like that was a clear victory. Comes from the fucking. He was about to lose. His second round he's getting beat up, and then just lands that. Third round he's getting clearly beat up. It's like shit, he's about to lose, and then boom, rocks him. I don't know how Dustin Jacoby took them because Alonzo Menifield is so fucking powerful, but I'm pretty sure he's on like a 5-fight winning streak now. So who knows? Maybe we're gonna get Alonzo Menifield, the next underdog fucking UFC light heavyweight champion. Like it wouldn't surprise me at this point because the guy. All respect to him, he's fucking on a run. Like, he is generally on a run. He lost to William Knight. Alonzo Menifield lost to William Knight. I mean, probably shouldn't have lost that fight, but he does. He technically has a loss to William Knight. And now he's gone and beat Jimmy Crute. He went in there and just beat up Dustin Jacoby. Absolutely killed Misha Serkinov. Who else did he beat? Beat some other guys because he's on a 5-fight winning streak. He beat that fraud Askar Mozharov, literal fraud. The guy's fucking lying about. The guy was lying about how many wins and losses he had. So that's like the definition of a fraud. Fraud. I don't know why I said that American, but want. So he's got 4 wins, 5 fights he hasn't lost though. 5-fight non-losing streak. I guess is the best way because he had a draw in between, but he's on a good run. Is he ranked? Yeah, he is ranked. He just beat Jacoby. So, yeah, who knows? He's 36 years old, but that doesn't really matter at light heavyweight. We seen Glover Teixeira go in there and become champ. So who knows? Maybe Menifield can fight like... I don't even know. Who the fuck do you give Menifield? Maybe Anthony Smith? Maybe Volkan Oezdemir? That'd be a cool fight. I'm sure there's a good fight you can give Alonzo Menifield. Who knows? He's making a run at this age, 36. Just an athletic guy. Like, he's not really very technical. He's just very athletic and he hits hard. Like, he's like if you went and put an American footballer in the UFC, pretty much. But, like, not in the heavyweight division. Like, if they're actually still athletic and not like a fat heavyweight like Greg Hardy. So, honestly, respect. Winning with athleticism is a fucking, it's a treat to watch. It's funny to watch. Who cares about technique and everything when you can just fucking be super athletic and go in there and fucking land bombs? So respect. Alonzo Menifield wins with the 2 moves of doom, which is right hand go boom and left hand go boom. Then we had Josh Emmett sending Bryce Mitchell to the fucking Neverream. He literally sent fucking Bryce Mitchell to God for a few seconds. That was horrible to watch. He was seizuring up. Hopefully Bryce Mitchell is all good. Because that generally was one of the worst KOs to watch. Because that was some brutal shit. But Josh Emmett goes in there, redeems his 2023. He didn't have a great year, lost to Yair Rodriguez, got beat up by Ilia Topuria, but he goes in there and absolutely smokes Bryce Mitchell. So you love to see that for him. But yeah, that was fucking nasty. That was generally such a nasty KO. I predicted Bryce Mitchell to lose via KO. I just knew his takedowns aren't the greatest. If he can't get the fight down, he doesn't really have anything on his feet. And, Josh Emmett went in there and proved that Fury right. So yeah, congrats to Josh Emmett. Looks like he won't be retiring after all. There was talks of him retiring, having a retirement fight at 155, but it looks like he's going to keep going. And especially after KO like that, I mean, yeah, he sort of has to keep going, right? So maybe you do Josh Emmett versus Barboza or Josh Emmett versus Giga Shikadze, who knows? But there's plenty of fights you can give for Josh Emmett. As for Bryce Mitchell, he needs to take a lot of time off because that was like a life-altering KO. Like, if he wasn't so young, I'd be saying like retirement. But, maybe he can come back from this. But Bryce Mitchell needs to take off a shit ton of time because that was brutal. But, yeah, honestly, crazy to see there. Then we had Paddy Pimblett going in there beating Tony Ferguson. We all know Tony's washed. I don't think many people were really expecting Tony to go in there and win. Maybe people just saying, Tony Ferguson's washed, but, Paddy Pimblett's not that good. But he went in there, he dominated pretty much. There were moments where Tony was having some success on for the feet, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. Just kept getting taken down. I think he tripped in the second round where he was looking good, and, Paddy just wet blanketed him a little bit. Like, the thing is about Tony Ferguson at this point in his career, if he gets taken down, like, that's it. He's not getting back up. He doesn't have ability to get back off the ground anymore. which is, not something you should not have. You should be able to get up, especially in the lightweight division where there's a lot of grapplers. That's not something you really want to have as a flaw, not being able to get back to your feet. So obviously, Tony Ferguson can't get up, just gets beat up on the ground. Paddy Pimblett gets the win. Uh, and yeah, he's talking about training with Benoit Saint Denis. I'd rather see Paddy Pimblett fight him, but I guess not. So I guess maybe Paddy Pimblett versus Matt Frivola, Bobby Green, some guy outside the rankings. Like, I don't know. I don't think you can give him a ranked opponent for beating Tony Ferguson at this point, but, honestly, Matt Frivola's a tough matchup, but also a winnable one. Frivola doesn't have the greatest chin, but he is powerful. He could give Paddy Pimblett some problems with the wrestling and power, but also at the same time, maybe he could chin him. And Matt Frivola's been chinned a few times, so maybe that's a good fight to make next. There's already beef there, so that would be a cool one, but I guess we'll see what happens. Then we had Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Wonderboy, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Shavkat wins this fight, but maybe it's just because the expectations were so high. But I didn't think it was like a breathtaking performance here. If I'm being honest, like it wasn't crazy. Like it really wasn't that crazy. Like yeah, he couldn't get Wonderboy down. Like Wonderboy wouldn't get taken down, and Wonderboy gets taken down by Bilal by ease, gets taken down by Gilbert Burns at ease, but fucking Shavkat Rakhmonov can't get him down. Like I said, his offensive wrestling was a bit overrated, but I was proven like by far to be correct here. He only got him down because Stephen Thompson did like that little thing where, when people try and take you down, you try and keep your balance by like jumping a little bit, maybe trying to get out of the hold. But in his case, he just fell on his ass and got, controlled and then subbed. But if Wonderboy fights again, let's just give him some fucking strikers, for God's sake. We keep giving Wonderboy all of these fucking grapplers. Like, I want to see Wonderboy strike. You just keep giving him grapplers. Grappler after grappler. It's not fun to see, but, it'll be interesting to see what Wonderboy does next. Maybe, as for Shavkat, maybe you do him versus Colby Covington. I feel like that fight makes sense at this point in their careers. But, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Colby Covington called out Wonderboy, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone really wants to see that. It's just another guy who's going to wrestle fuck Wonderboy. But I mean, Colby didn't look that great against Leon, so maybe Colby could lose that. But still, Shavkat gets the win here. Then we had the co-main event: Alejandro Pantoja versus Brendan Royval. Good performance from Pantoja, but not really a good fight. Like, I don't know, people saying, oh, this one's being slept on, oh, you thought the main event was going to be good, oh, wait till you see this fight. And, maybe it was a better fight than the main event, but that's not really that hard, Watching flies fuck was probably more entertaining than the main event, if we're being honest. But, good performance from Pantoja, sort of just won with control. He did some damage on the ground, but, it wasn't really like a crazy back and forth fight. He landed a lot of shots on Royval where he like rocked him, he landed a lot of good body shots, but it really wasn't like a spectacular fight. He just did enough to remain champ. Like, I mean, he clearly won like almost every round, but it just wasn't a great fight, if we're being honest. I love Pantoja though. The first round was cool. He came out aggressive, and I was thinking, shit, man, we're in for a fucking treat here, and then no. We were not. But it wasn't like a boring fight. It just wasn't like a crazy good fight. Like, it was just a whole lot of total controlling. And I like grappling, but when you're just not doing anything with the grappling, it's a bit of a bore to watch. But still, good performance from Pantoja. He showed his dad, you shouldn't have walked out. Now he's a fucking defending UFC champion. So, respect to Pantoja. Be interesting to see who he fights next. Maybe... I mean, it'll probably be the winner of Amir Albazi versus Moreno, you'd have to imagine. So I guess we'll see what happens. But still, good performance from Pantoja. And then we had Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. Honestly, shit fight. Colby did nothing first 2 rounds. Third round, he's sort of starting to do stuff, but, he's not really doing too much. Then the 4th and 5th, he could have won, but I thought he won the 5th at least. But not really a great fight. Literally, Colby did nothing, didn't even pressure Leon at all. I think he was injured, or he's completely washed. I'm not quite sure which one it is. He said it was because of the time off, which maybe it was. When he does come back after a long layoff against Usman, he looked pretty shit as well. But I don't know. He looked bad, man. He looked fucking awful. And Leon didn't look that great either. Leon clearly won. Don't get me wrong, but he didn't look like a fucking world beater by any means either. They just both sort of looked awful. Like, I mean, Leon clearly won, but he's so nonchalant about shit. He's not aggressive. He doesn't really do much of anything. Like trying to get a finish. Like the guy talked all that smack about your dad, and you're not even going in there to try to knock this cunt out. Like, come on, man. What are you doing in there, Leon? But still good performance. But like, I don't know. Like, Leon still remains boring, but it's probably Leon Edwards versus fucking Bilal Muhammad, which is such a shit fight as well. That is going to sell no pay-per-views. There's like no way for that to be like interesting at all. And I think Bilal has a good shot, but I'll probably pick Leon just because of how aggressive he was looking in that first fight. Like if he fights that aggressive, he can go in there and finish Bilal, but I don't know if he'll do that. But still, good performance from Leon Edwards, all things considered, but just not a great fight overall. Colby eventually does show up, wins the last round, but it's a little bit too late. Like, he could have done that earlier in the fight. Like, he really could have. He didn't shoot a single takedown in the first round. I don't know why he didn't shoot a takedown in the first round. That was really stupid of him, but he looked so slow. He didn't look like himself. He looks so much older. Maybe the leg kicks were also eating him up. Leon was landing a lot of leg kicks, but overall, Colby just looked awful. But anyway, that was the UFC 296 recap. Overall, it was a pretty alright card, but not really a big bang to end the card, if we're being honest. Like, end the year, sorry. Like, I don't know. I guess I was expecting a little bit more, but it is what it is, man. What can you do? But 2024 should be a good year. There's already some crazy fights being announced, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, anyway, that's all I've got to say. So if you like this video, make sure you give this video a like. Let me know your thoughts on the card overall in the comments below. If you're not already subscribed, put on that notification, share this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.